Physics Blender. I love 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 Physics Blender. Subscribe for more videos.
Hello everyone, welcome to Physics Blender e-learning platform. Today we are checking your answers. You have quiz about refraction of light, paper 1 for core and extended. Before I start, some questions are repeated in your classwork and homework, so I will check the most confusing, challenging questions. Okay, question number 1. Yes, let's check this one. Question number 1. A student here draws 4 diagrams to represent light passing from air through glass block. We have here different shapes and back into air. So the light ray will enter the glass block and then it will emerge in air. The critical angle for this glass is 42. It's very important information to know the critical angle because as we said before, you have to compare the relation between angle of incidence and the critical angle. If they are the angle of incidence, is it smaller than or equal to or greater than the critical angle? We will see now. In which diagram is the path of the light through the glass block not correct? So it's not the correct one, is not correct. Okay, the first one is correct because the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, so total internal reflection. So this one is correct. So here also the confusing one, the light ray strikes the block along at 90 degree, which means along the normal. Okay, so angle of incidence is 0 and angle of refraction is 0, so it will continue in the same direction. Okay, and also here C is correct. We have prism, glass prism, so the light passing through air, it will pass through a prism and emerge in air away from the normal towards the base of the prism. So this is very important. As in dispersion, the light ray usually refract away from normal and at the same time towards the base. This is the base of the prism. Okay, here the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, which is 42. So here angle of incidence is 45 and the critical angle is 42. Since angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, so what happens here? The ray should be totally internal reflected. But what happens here is incorrect. Okay, so it's not correct. So the answer which is not correct is D, because he is asking you about which one is not correct. Is it clear? Okay. Let's move to question 2. The diagram showing a light ray. Okay, guys, this is repeated in your homework, but I will answer it quickly. Angle of incidence, the correct one, you have to follow the arrow. So the light ray travels passing from denser to less dense medium. So from denser to less dense, and you have here X, and it's mentioned at the critical angle. So it's passing to air at critical angle. So X is the critical angle. So how it will behave? It will refract at the boundary. So in this case, the angle of refraction is 90 and the correct answer is D. Okay. We have question 3. The diagram showing a ray of light passing through a semicircular glass block. Here we will discuss important points that light ray, when it travels from air to semicircular glass block, here in this point, it will continue in the same line without any bending, although it travels from air to glass. Why at this point it didn't change its direction? Why? Because at this point it passes also along the normal. Okay, so in this case we consider angle of incidence is equal to 0 and angle of refraction is equal to 0. So in this case refraction takes place but no change in direction, only speed changes and the wavelength of the wave changes. Okay, and applying your mathematics and mathematical skills, you can understand that this is the center of the circle, okay, and we consider this like radius. If you draw a tangent at this point, it will be perpendicular to the radius, right? Okay guys, tell me more about your skills. Okay, so this question is somehow challenging, and the row gives the correct name for angle P. Angle P here is not critical angle, it's only angle of incidence. The ray is refracted in air, so this is the refracted ray. Okay, so in this case the correct choice will be B. So angle of incidence, and if you compare angle P to the critical angle, it's smaller than the critical angle. How do you know? Because the ray is refracted in air away from the normal. Okay, so it's not equal to the critical, it's not more than the critical. Okay guys.
Subscribe for more videos. I love physics blender. I love physics blender. I love physics blender. I love physics blender.